And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Okay, first graphic today, the fire danger for grass forecast for tomorrow, Saturday, July 8th. Really reducing here with the cooler temperatures and moisture and clouds coming in, higher humidities into the eastern interior, but still pretty high here for the upper Tanana Valley and 40 Mile country, much improved over the Copper River Basin. And a lot of high and very high fire danger for grass across the southeast coast. It looks like the most fire danger is over the southern portions. And for spruce, we've got, again, just north of the eastern Alaska range here, some very high fire danger for spruce. High fire danger, again, most of the upper Tanana Valley there. And still in the Copper River Basin, central Copper River Basin. And mostly high central and southern southeast coast. And less of that up to the north. And moving on to the hazardous weather, we have a wind advisory out for the eastern Alaska range until 1 a.m. tonight. Saturday morning for winds 40 to 60 miles an hour through the passes of the eastern Alaska range. And then there's still a flood watch out here for the Chilkat and Taya rivers for the northern panhandle. A flood watch for possible snowmelt flooding. And it's just a possibility that it may occur. And from there, going to satellite imagery, a lot of sunshine here over the southeast coast today, temperatures in the 70s, the lower 80s there. And starting out here with solid sunshine here over the eastern interior. That allowed temperatures to push up into the upper 80s to lower 90s over portions of the eastern interior there, and well into the 90s over the Yukon, Northwest Territory areas and several locations there. Eagle topped out, I believe, at 90 degrees, some areas into the lower 90s elsewhere. And much cooler as you get back toward Fairbanks with some rain earlier on there in the lower to mid 70s in the afternoon. And these clouds now increasing, starting to lower the temperatures over the eastern interior, starting to come down a little bit with the blocking the sun out a little bit, but still well into the 80s here at 4 p.m. Otherwise, areas of rain and showers over the central and western part of the state. Upper level trough depicted by this dashed line here, swinging northeastward, and that keeping it cloudy and wet south central Alaska back to the west. Here, a little bit of a break between that trough and the next system here, spreading rain, fog, clouds, and drizzle from the Pribilofs down toward the eastern Aleutians, starting to move east there. And then another front farther out to the west, beginning to spread some precipitation into the western Aleutians. That'll continue eastward here. Pretty good westerly flow on the south side of that 990 millibar low. They're actually back out toward the Komodorskis. And that'll push the front into the central Aleutians, Adak and Atka tonight, periods of rain moving in. Stays pretty cloudy, damp, a lot of IFR here over the Bering Sea with low clouds, low visibilities, fog, drizzle, light rain. And that'll spread into the Alaska Peninsula with some moisture into the southwest coast later tonight. Up to the north, showers and thunderstorms advance eastward here toward the eastern border, actually getting up into the Mackenzie River Delta area. Chance of showers and thunderstorms, Brooks Range, North Slope out to the Arctic coast. Otherwise, maybe clearing out here over southern Cook Inlet, drying out over the Kenai Peninsula. Showers on the decrease later tonight for northern Cook Inlet into the Madanuska Valley, but probably some pretty good showers into the Madanuska Valley, Talkeetnas, and into the Alaska Range. Stays dry and fair with light winds over the Panhandle. That continues through tomorrow as well. Pretty nice conditions, low clouds, maybe patchy fog along the coast, and otherwise another pretty nice day for the Panhandle. Much cooler conditions in the eastern interior tomorrow. That upper level trough swinging up to the northeast. Highs mid 70s maybe over the east side there, but breaking out to some sunshine, Copper River Basin into the Tanana Valley again. Maybe the Kenai Peninsula, Prince William Sound. A lot of moisture streaming north-northeastward here with one front making landfall and moving inland with some showers as far south as Kodiak Island and rain spreading back up across the Seward Peninsula. And then the next front here pushing more rain into the eastern Aleutians, scattering out to a few showers back to the west. And then for the outlook on Sunday, low tracks northward here in the front, kind of struggling to get eastward in toward Kodiak Island here with high pressure out over the northeast Pacific and southeastern Gulf of Alaska. That's going to, well, actually with slow movement here, Look for a little bit more sunshine, temperatures back into the lower 80s over the eastern interior, and then much cooler and wetter out to the west. And another weak system keeps it wet, cloudy and unsettled with quite a bit of IFR over the southern Bering Sea. And the Aleutians still dry with partly and mostly sunny skies. So a good weekend coming up for the southeast coast. And for the lows tonight down that way, 50 to 55, otherwise in the 40s for the remainder of southern Alaska. Highs tomorrow, upper 50s, lower 60s. South central Alaska, lower 70s at Copper River Basin, upper 50s to near 60 west of the Alaska Range, southeast coast in the 70s to near 80. And for the lows the following morning, in the mid to upper 50s, lower 40s there for the Copper River Basin, upper 40s to near 50, south central Alaska and the Kuskokwim Valley, as well as Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island. And then highs on Sunday afternoon, upper 70s, Copper River Basin, and upper 50s to mid 60s, south central Alaska. A little bit of warming anticipated on Sunday, maybe a little bit of sunshine as well, possibly. And upper 50s or 55 to 60, Bristol Bay, and up to the north. Lows tonight in the lower to mid 50s here over the eastern interior, in the 40s elsewhere, as well as the north slope out to the Arctic coast. Some areas dropping into the 30s up there. And for the highs tomorrow, you can see much cooler conditions, 65 to 70 from Fairbanks eastward there, except 70 to 75 over toward the border, and 50s out to the west with 40s and 50s for the north slope. Followed by lows, 40s and 50s, or in the 40s to lower 50s, and highs recovering a little bit here over the eastern interior, 75 to 80, Fairbanks area eastward toward the border, upper 60s central interior, mid 50s Seward Peninsula, and in the 50s, maybe some lower 60s here, possibly mid 60s there in the north slope, but cooler out toward the Arctic coast as usual, and upper 40s for St. Lawrence Island, or mid 40s. Out to the west, the Aleutians lows tonight in the 40s, same thing for the Pribilofs, southwest coast Alaska Peninsula, highs tomorrow in the 50s, followed by lows in the 40s once again, and highs, you guessed it, in the 50s.